Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Welcome to Weekend Updates. I have so much stuff going on in my craft room today. I couldn't even figure out what I was going to show you and what would need to go in a different video. So I'm going to try and move things along pretty quick and show you what I can. And then if you have questions because I went too fast on something, never ever hesitate to leave me a message down below. Love to hear from you. It was my birthday, and I don't like to mention it too much because I don't want anybody to feel obligated. I don't do birthday challenges. You know that I have plenty of stuff. It is a hot mess up in here. But Noni, who is my neighbor, made me this card, and it is ridiculous, so I had to show it to you. She didn't get to go with us on Girls Beach Weekend, but she gave it to me, and then I took it and opened it. So she has paste with stars, and then she's got a couple of little like sequin stars glued on just randomly so they catch your eye, and then stars cut out, some are popped up. The best projects have different types of things, so you have to look a little more. This card that Tanisha sent me, you really have to kind of look at it and study it, and then you realize she's got all these different pastes and mixed media things, and it's just gorgeous. Same thing here. Sometimes on my cards, I'm so clean and simple that I miss that, but this, oh, just love it. It's got a lot going on. Really cool. So I did love it. Thank you so much, Noni. And then she even put some stars on the inside. How cute is that? So I had fun with that one. Then I made, things are in no particular order here. I made some Valentines. I still owe some thank you cards back to people, and I just decided to mix up the themes and go with different ones. So when I went to the beach, I threw some pink and red stuff in an iris case and a few Valentine-y things and made some cards. This paper is like a crazy specialty paper, really neat. And I thought I would leave these blank. I might use these as birthday cards, which my friends thought was a little strange, but I wasn't necessarily thinking of my age group. I think you probably know some ladies in your life, maybe they're a little older than you, that would love this as a birthday card. So I do have 2 card fronts. I might turn them into Valentines. I don't know, haven't decided. And then I made 2 that are kind of Valentine-y. So here we have hugs, and I don't have much Valentine stuff, but I use things I had gotten in Happy Mail before. And then joy. I just love these little hearts. And these will mail. They will work okay for mailing. And I don't even think they'll need like a special hand stamped stamp because it's foamy. And then look at this one. I used one of those hearts that Pam sent me. And then I had these little ladybugs. And I was getting into the specialty papers. That's what I was trying to do, is my bin is super full. And I loved the stitching on this one, like little bugs are traveling around. And then I used another specialty paper back here that's probably been in my stash for 20 years. Had a great time. So just a few Valentines. Last year I went crazy for Valentines, but it was because I was sick like Thanksgiving time. So I pretty much missed holiday and winter cards last year. Oh, let's do Happy Mail first, and then we'll talk about this paper. This is from Pam. I don't know why she's sending me something, because she just did recently. I peeked in here a little. I'm not going to fib to you. It came right before I left for the beach, and I couldn't resist it. But I didn't take anything out of it. But look at this. It's almost like an Asian-inspired washi, like maybe blue cherry blossoms with a touch of gold. Oh, that's awesome. I don't know for sure. It's paper backed, but I think it's adhesive. So I don't think it's a strip of paper. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to use it for sure. Then she has a gorgeous card. Ooh, look at all those stars. Ooh, and more. See, it is adhesive. Love it. I'm going to see if I can get this open, and then I'll reuse this awesome envelope in a journal. I know, I'm slow, but it's okay. Oh, look at this. Stay safe. I don't know if you can tell, but there is Wink of Stella or some similar product on some items on the couch. This is precious. Look at all those layers and that really detailed die. Stay safe. I'm good at this. Staying home is my jam. Look at these. She has specific Post-its that you put in there, and then it says right on there, it's made to peel off so you can send it to someone else. And then ta-da, you get to reuse the card. That is super cute, Pam. I'm probably not going to send it to anybody else. I'm probably going to put it on my shelf and hoard it forever. But I could, and maybe if somebody needs a reminder. Super cute. Thank you so much. So she sent me more treasures. She's always spoiling me. I think that might have just been to protect them. Yeah, maybe that was like to keep it from getting bent. Oh, look, America the Beautiful, and it has stars down at the bottom. I don't know why I'm having focusing trouble. Look at all these paw prints. Oh my gosh. This is cool. Okay, it's glitter foam. It must be, it's like that Queen and Company one that I have, but then it also has gold stars on it. See them? I don't have any product this color. I'd like to know more about how to obtain more if I want more. But this is probably a lot, right? This will keep me busy for like a year. And then look at these little tags. To and from with the little string on them. So cute. I really do use stuff like this. Like Katie gave me that baking kit that she got on clearance. So cute. And what I might do is cover up the to and from, but use them in journals. And I love the strings, and they already have the eyelets, which I'm usually too lazy to put in. Darling. Thank you so much, Pam. You guys spoil me. And if you saw my room, you would stop sending me stuff. You would say, woman, you're out of control. The problem is and this is a whiner problem. If you have a craft closet, you are going to tell me to be quiet and quit crying. And that's okay. I totally get it. I deserve it. I'm not packed to go to the beach. I'm all spread out, right? So when I pack up to go to the beach, I put stuff in different containers. And then I have to change things back. Whereas if I had like a craft closet and I was always packed for portability, it would be different. Also, I didn't take the time to clean up before I left. That was a deadly mistake. I pulled a bunch of stuff out, and then I would say, oh, I don't want to take that project, or I don't feel like working on that. And I just left them all on the counters. So then when I came back, the counters weren't clean. So yes, I have a ton of space, but there was barely a place to park. And I took too much. I always do. I make fun of Brandy at Crafty Reasons when she packs for a crop. I can't make fun of her anymore. My friends made fun of me. I don't know if I've mentioned it, but I have a Subaru Outback now, specifically so I have room for all my junk. I went alone and that car was full. It was ridiculous. It was. Love this, Pam. Thanks so much. Let's talk about coffee dyeing paper for a minute. This was a beach, you're crafting, you go to get some coffee, and Andrea made a comment, and I was like, okay, let's try it. So I grabbed a pan, and oddly enough, only like 7 pieces of paper. This is regular printer paper. You can hear it. You can see how textured it is. That happens after dyeing, but this was your basic cheapo, probably 20-pound printer paper. We lost the package a long time ago on a gel printing day, so I don't have it anymore. But I assure you, this was from when I had a printer. And what I did was I took a couple sheets of paper. I threw it in a 9x11 pan. If I had been at home, I would have used a cookie sheet that's bigger so the edges can get in there all the way and you don't have to fiddle with them, because I had to fiddle, to move things around and it sticks. And then I just dumped the grounds right on top. And Andrea was like, well, it probably worked better if you layered them. Well, yeah, but I have crafting to do and I'm lazy. So I dumped them on top. A couple times I went in there when I went to refill my coffee or get water or something, and I would pull something out and just flip it over. So there is all different varying amounts, and you can see some speckling. And to give you comparison, here's a white envelope. So they did take on a lot of color. There might be a couple places where there is just a hint of white, or like there was an air pocket. I added a tiny bit of moisture just here and there so that I could tip the pan and get it to run a tiny bit. The papers weren't covered. It was messy. Then I brought them in, put them by the fire, and let them dry on the broiler pan, because there was a broiler pan. So I didn't clean off the coffee all the way until today. what I did was, as they dried on the broiler pan, I dumped it off. Then I just put them in a plastic bag to bring them home. And I went out in the backyard today with this cheapo brush and brushed them off. I had coffee down the front of my pants. There was a ring on my pocket where my phone was. So definitely don't clean the papers off in the house. And maybe some of you would say I was supposed to rinse them. Maybe that would have been easier. But it seems like the color wouldn't have taken as well because I let them dry all the way with it on there. I love the variety. I have never gotten that level of variety when I just use dye or something. But it's a little grungy for me. I know that some of you like Craft Scraps. She would make amazing stuff with this. Also, because we were at the beach, it was a full-size coffee pot for 3 of us. At home, I probably don't have enough grounds in a day to really make a difference because Mr. Crafting and Relaxing doesn't drink coffee. But I could still make it work. Somehow I've gotten glitter on them too, so that makes them more fun. Anyway, I like them. I will use them. But I don't feel compelled to make a bunch more tonight. So that's where I am on that. I'd love to hear your ideas on how do you deal with all those coffee grounds at the end. Do you rinse them or do you just let them dry like I did? I just like to try things. And maybe if I do a really grungy book, then I'd make more. I wanted to tell you, I'm not going to mention this person's name because I think she'd be embarrassed, but I got the sweetest card and she mailed me cash because she had postage due on Happy Mail she sent me. I try to cover that up, you guys, and my apologies to her that she saw that. I usually take washi or a sticker, but I do remember a video that I was in the middle of and I thought, oh, I didn't cover that up. When you mail someone something, if you go to your post office, it's happened to me a million times. Remember last year when I thought I was some kind of rock star because I figured out how to mail pocket letters for $1.80 in a business size envelope. So I was taking an envelope that you would mail a business letter in or get a bill in and folding up a pocket letter and putting it in there. And at my post office, the gentleman was charging me $1.80. When they got to the other end, the people were paying so that it was at least $4. So they were actually paying more than me. I felt horrible. And I sent a bunch of those before I realized it. And the first person was somebody I really didn't know. And so she didn't say anything. And then the second person was like, hey, just so you know. And I was mortified because I had already launched several of them. So the deal is, let me show you some examples. When you have your A2 card, if it's perfectly flat, regular stamp, okay? If it has something like this and you want it hand stamped so that it doesn't get, the eyeballs don't get ripped off and this doesn't get messed up, or, in some instances the wood chips break, sometimes it works fine. Sometimes it doesn't. Hand stamped is, I think, a 75-cent stamp. I don't know because I bought a sheet of them. And then you take it to the counter and they'll mail it. Okay, here's the trick, and here's where it transfers over. Same rule for a card or a 5x7 envelope. If it is more than the thickness, if it is more than about 1/4 of an inch, they have a little slot that it goes through, it switches from being a letter to a parcel. And a parcel, I think the minimum charge is like $4. So this item right here, see how it's super thick and Ty has put these on? This probably would be a parcel if you tried to mail it. So what can happen pretty easily, especially to me, is if I put some embellishments on the front and then I fill it with die cuts because I want to happy mail you a bunch of treasures, it gets too fat. So you'll notice when I send happy mail cards, I'm a little careful. I actually count. Sometimes I put 2 or 3 large die cuts in if I already have a bunch of embellishments. Or you might open your card from me and think, well, that's kind of a dull card. It's because I was trying to keep it flat so I could put more embellishments in it. A button will probably work just fine. But if you get into, if you put a bow or a button on top of chipboard and then you put something in the card, you're going to flip over. So be careful with your happy mail. A business envelope that's too fat, a 5x7 envelope, and it's something weird, like maybe the rules have changed and not all the post office staff is aware of it. When the staff turned over at my post office, I started getting more postage due. And so what they do is they put a note in my box that says I have a package, and then Mr. Crafting and Relaxing goes to the counter and pays $3 to get it. It's still a fun surprise for me. I don't care, and I never want you to feel bad. So don't you worry. And by the way, I love your washi. That is gorgeous. Look at that. I'm definitely going to reuse that. Be careful on mailing. If you're going to be a fancy card maker, you have to figure out, give them to people at lunch or coffee or whatever. As I'm cleaning up my craft room, I still have this fabulous mini album that I made about dogs. There's a video back there a ways if you want to see it. I think I made it in the fall. I never listed it on Etsy or anything. I'm thinking about listing it on Etsy, and I think I would probably do $30 shipped. The shipping is going to be pretty expensive, but for me, I had the fun making it. If you're interested in this, message me on Instagram. You can use Facebook or email. I'm not as good at Facebook, so if you want dibs, you better use Instagram. I love it. I just think I would rather make another one than put the photos in it. But it is cute as can be. And it turned out pretty good. Like, I feel like it's structurally sound. It would make an awesome gift. So if you're interested, let me know. Otherwise, I'll get around to listing it at some point. One of the things I have going in my craft room is I have a piece of paper, vintage paper, that I'm adding my bits of washi to. Essentially my trash. If it was too long, or I wanted to tear off the end, or I wanted it straighter, and some of them I'm gluing down, some of them I'm not. In mixed media, you have like a clean off paper where you might clean your brush or your roller, and those turn out amazing. Something like this will be great for a stitched embellishment or a die cut section for a card. And it will turn out in the colors that you like because you're working it, right? That's why mine's blue all the time. So you might want to try something like this. Sometimes you see the end product as an embellishment in a journal, because I'll take this, I'll stitch down it, maybe I'll put stars or hearts or leaves, whatever the season is, and then you guys comment on it. That's how it happens. It was trash. You can sit down and make them all in a row too, but this works out pretty well. So you might want to try something like that. Then I have some more things to show you, but this video's gotten long. For Smash That Small Paper Pad, the gnome paper didn't get chosen. I did make cards with that, and I'll put that in a separate video so you can see it. The other thing, real life, has gotten in the way of crafting and relaxing today, and I'll tell you because it's funny. The tiny cat, my angel tiny cat, I switched cat food because my fat cat is, well, fat, and the tiny cat can't handle the food. She has barfed all over. It is like Comedy Central here. It is ridiculous. I am washing. Last night, I stayed up too late. It's like 11 o'clock, which for me is crazy. I go into bed. I am not kidding you. Smack dab in the middle of my bed, right where the comforter didn't quite hit the pillows. She has managed to tag 2 handmade quilts, flannel sheets, all the way to the mattress pad. Fortunately, missed our pillows. I am on my 4th load of laundry today, and I'm not done because those quilts, 1 quilt is a load. So those handmade quilts that my mom makes, oh, they're having a hard day. But we're getting it under control here, so that's what's going on. Oh, I do have one more thing I want to show you real quick, just because I just had so much. This is my sample where I'm trying to show you Wink of Stella versus the Nouveau markers, these new shimmer markers that I bought. And they were in a haul recently. I talked about them. This one right here is iridescent, just like they told me it would be. And that is called Opal Quartz. And see, the package right there says Opal Quartz, and it is a little iridescent, okay? Then the other one is just called Super Shimmer. And this is my Wink of Stella one. Now, my Wink of Stella is old, and I have refilled it. What Andrea and I talked about and we looked at, the Nouveau Shimmer is maybe a little less gray. Like when you put Wink of Stella on your clouds or something like that, you're going to notice a touch of gray. And I don't even know if you guys can see, but this top one is Nouveau and the bottom one is Wink of Stella. And I wouldn't hold it against it that the Nuvo is more sparkly because, like I said, I've refilled my Wink of Stella. So this would only be a fair test if I had a brand new Wink of Stella right next to it. But that iridescent one is pretty neat. I think that would be amazing on spring cards especially because your flowers are going to hit that iridescent pink color. It'd be great on Valentines too. I didn't think to use it on there. But so different products. I have traditionally used Wink of Stella. It's in my stores near me. But some people say that Wink of Stella is not the superior product for putting glitter on. And there are others besides the Nuvo brand too. So you can try them and see what you think. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you're taking time for crafting and relaxing and not doing laundry all day. Bye-bye.